Adam here from the Walzer Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have a Mazda CX-90 PHEV. We'll look at the interior, exterior, some of the trim level specifics, then go for a spin around, see what it's like out on the road. Alright, so now we're behind the wheel of the Mazda CX-90 PHEV, and if you aren't familiar, that stands with plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. So this does have a plug that comes with the vehicle. It's not something that you necessarily need to use. It's not a full electric vehicle, so it does still have a 4-cylinder engine, but we'll get into that a little bit more. Just wanted to get the confusing stuff out of the way, and even the difference between the CX-90 and the CX-70, this one has the third row. So if you're searching for a third row vehicle, the CX-90 is definitely one you're going to want to check out. Now, this is going to be the premium trim level. So you're looking at about 3 different trim levels when you're looking at the 90 PHEV, and there's lots of great equipment in here, and I think this mid-tier trim level is kind of the sweet spot. So before we get too much into it, let's put it in drive, we'll go for a spin around and touch on some of those features. So what powers the PHEV Mazda CX-90? It's going to be a 4-cylinder that's going to have a 17.8 kilowatt hour battery attached to it. So what that means is you can have a total electric range of about 25 miles when fully charged. Now on a 240 charging port, you can go from about 20 to 80% in only about an hour and a half. But the good news is if you don't want to plug it in, it will regen as you drive around, which is really convenient. Now, horsepower-wise, you're looking at about 323 horsepower out of this 4-cylinder with the electric motor, so it's got plenty of grunt and get up and go to power this big CX-90 along. Now, on the exterior of this vehicle, it does come in some pretty cool colors. The white, I think, though, really does set it off. It's got those black accents that run around the vehicle, whether it's the roof rack rails, the mirror caps, or some of the grille setup. It does look really good. It's a very luxurious looking vehicle, and I think kind of outkicks its coverage as far as the price point is concerned when comparing it with other import vehicles versus maybe some German luxury sedans. It really does give you an upscale appearance, whether that's on the outside or even inside the vehicle. Now this one will also ride on the blacked out 21-inch wheels. It looks so good. I love when you see these vehicles coming down the road. They have such a great road presence to them, whether it's those LED headlights up front or some of the other design language for the vehicle. Like I said, it just kind of screams luxury, but not at a luxury price point. A few other things on the outside of this vehicle. This one does get some of the really cool safety settings. So you'll notice some of the parking sensors around the vehicle. So whether that's up front or out back, it will help you out just because this is a third row, a little bit larger SUV. So having the parking sensors does help you out in a pinch. And this also has a great backup camera. Now, speaking of safety, obviously if you're looking at a third row SUV, probably planning on having the family in here. So you want to be safe when you're on the road. So what that means is Mazda's Safety Sense technology is so good. Whether it's maybe you driving an older CX-9 or maybe you haven't had a newer vehicle for a while, the safety technology is pretty cool. Now this one has a few things like blind spot monitoring that you can find in the mirrors, but it also will have a host of other safety features that you can kind of control through the menu. Now it's a lot. You can almost do a full video on just some of the safety equipment in this vehicle, but just know there's really cool things like adaptive cruise control. So you can actually set 4, 3, 2, 1 kind of car length distances ahead of you. So if you're doing a road trip or maybe you're spending a lot of time on the highway or even in the city, that's a pretty cool feature. That's paired with the emergency braking and a host of other stuff that really is going to help keep you and your family safe when you're on the go. Now, one thing this trim level offers is the heads-up display. So as you can hear and see, it's not a nice day today. So having some of that safety features, just in case maybe you hit a big puddle, if there's hydroplaning, there's so much safety and traction built into these vehicles, it really can help you out in a pinch. Now, it is important to note that all Mazda SUVs are going to come standard with all-wheel drive. A lot of manufacturers, when you look at the pricing, it's usually for a front-wheel drive model, but Mazda doesn't have a front-wheel drive SUV anymore. Everything is going to come standard with their all-wheel drive system, and I love that. Obviously, we're just about into winter time here, so when that snow starts flying, having the all-wheel drive is definitely a great feature, and there is some different selectable drive modes. So with the PHEV, you can go into a sport mode, an EV mode, or an off-road mode. So if you want the best possible bike traction, that's certainly something you can dial in to kind of fine-tune your driving style. Now, looking at the interior of the CX-90, there's going to be a few different options. So you can have seating for up to 8 people if you want. A lot of them are going to have the captain's chairs, it seems. So that's going to cut your seating down to 7, but just know it is an option if you want to do the bench for that second row. Now into the third row of this vehicle, you can put 3 back there. It would get a little tight, but one thing that's really nice is that you can actually slide that second row. So if the kids are getting a little older, need a little bit more space, you can make the people in the second row slide up a little bit just to give you a little more legroom in the back. But as far as storage is concerned, if you're not hauling people with you, you can fold down that third row, and it does give you quite a bit of space. Now it's a power lift gate out back, so whether that's on the key fob or you just press the button, that will pop that open, lift it up for you, and it's, with the seats up, not a ton of room, but once you knock those seats down, it almost turns into a little cargo van in here. It's very surprising just how much space you get, and then you can also kick down the second row, so you have pretty much like a flat loading floor to haul a bunch of stuff with you. Now let's kind of put our foot down here. It's kind of got a good sound to it. It probably doesn't pick it up on camera very well, but it's got a little grunt and bark to it. So when you really do floor it, it gets up and moves just fine. That's something about these great EV and PHEV vehicles, is that they give you that kind of instant boost and torque because of that electric power. Now, like I said, with the all-wheel drive, I'm not worried about driving around in the rain or once we get the snow, because on the road, this vehicle is so comfortable. With the rain, obviously not every day is going to be 72 and sunny, so it's kind of nice to test this on sort of a not so great day. But the quiet of the cabin is great. Obviously on a rainy day, you're still going to get some noise in here, but it's so nice. The interior has just so many great features in here. And again, kind of back to the family aspect of it, if you got the kids in the car seats, one thing that's really cool, that second row, it just kind of slides forward. So you don't actually have to take out the child's seat, or if you got the car seat back there. So that's pretty nice. You can just pull the little handle on the top and it kind of tips and slides it if people need to crawl into the third row. Or like I said, you got the kid seat in there. You can just kind of slide the seat forward and back. Saves you a lot of hassle when trying to remove that. And another thing that's really underrated is that these doors actually swing open a perfect almost 90 degrees. So if you've got the kids, you're loading them in the back. If you've done it before, you know how much of a pain in the butt it can be to kind of move people around. So just being able to open that door and have all the room back there is really nice out of the CX-90. Okay, so enough about the family. Let's talk about you behind the wheel. It's comfortable. Like I said, that's one thing that Mazda has always done so well. It's a little bit more of a firm seat in here, but man, is it good. These are going to be heated seats in this particular trim level for the driver and the passenger. As you work your way through the lineup, you can even add a heated second row to this vehicle as well, and you can even get the heated steering wheel or ventilated seats. But this is pretty good. Kind of like the little basic cold weather package. When I hopped in this morning, fired up the heated seats, and there's power on my side with a lumbar as well, so you can really get comfortable in here. And I can spend a lot of time behind the wheel of this CX-90. Like I said, the heads-up display is great, but really the infotainment is what shines in these vehicles. Now, this has a 12.3-inch infotainment display, and it's got the new iOS for the Apple CarPlay in here, which is so good. So there's 4 different menus you can go through. You can actually use it as a touch screen. That's a setting you can change, or you got Mazda's little controller down here. So what that means is you can keep your focus ahead, yet still kind of not swipe and mess around, but use the controller. And once you get it figured out, it's pretty cool. Text messaging, Google Maps, Spotify, it's all built into there. And you can even use voice control on the steering wheel to really make sure you're not messing with your phone when you're on the go. Now, a great thing about your phone, there's wireless charging down there, and there's USB-C charging all over this vehicle. First, second, and third row are all gonna have charging, so everybody can be charged up when you're on the go. I mean, even in the armrest here, there's charging, which is really nice. And it's just, everything is laid out so well. It's all just very well thought out. Everything's within arm's reach, whether it's the heated seats, the climate control. You're not really fumbling about looking for stuff through some menu. It's all physical buttons, which I actually really do appreciate. Now, you can hear as we're kind of driving around, this little purple EV light will pop on our digital gauge cluster here. That's telling me I'm just using electric power. So the gas motor is now off, and as I drive around, you can see on the right side of the digital gauge cluster, it will show me my charge level. So when I actually got in this vehicle this morning, it was completely flat out of battery. Now I'm almost to about a quarter battery, and I've only done about 10 or 15 miles, I'd say, this morning driving around. So it really does regen pretty fast. So even if you don't plan on ever plugging this vehicle in, just to get the benefit of once you get to a certain point, you can even click the little EV button down here, set a charge target that you want, and it will allow you to use the electric power then. Or the vehicle just kind of decides when the best possible use case is. It's really convenient and a great feature to help you save a little bit of money at the pump. Now on that digital gauge cluster, it's really pretty cool. There's a little info button on the steering wheel here, so you can kind of go through the right side of the screen and just kind of keep track of a few little things in there. Nothing overcomplicating in that menu. And then just your adaptive cruise control settings and the lane departure warning mitigation system you can kind of control through there as well, which is also really nice. But I mean, there's just a lot to like out of these vehicles. So kind of like the pressure it takes to move the steering wheel about. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. The kind of get off the line is really good in this vehicle as well. I mean, you can hear we come up to a stoplight here. If I shut the blinker off, it's quiet. All I can hear is a little bit of rain coming down. It's just so nice inside the cabin. All these new vehicles nowadays are so comfortable and quiet, but that added little bit of a hybrid system, just pulling away from the stoplight and you hear the gas motor kick in, but you don't actually feel it kick in, if that makes sense. So if you were kind of on the fence about a hybrid because you didn't want that kind of herky-jerky like the old ones used to be, that's gone now. You get just a seamless transition between gas and electric, and it really is just gonna help you get the best possible mileage. Like I said, with a 25-mile range, that's pretty awesome. You can plug this vehicle in for an hour and a half, get the charge up, maybe that gets you to your commute, maybe even back and forth to work and never even go to the gas pump. That's pretty cool as well. But just a few other little things in here. It's actually memory seats on my side, which is really convenient for the two drivers, and the panoramic sunroof up above. If that's something you haven't had before, especially with the all black interior in here, it really does open it up. The kiddos are gonna love it in the back as well. I mean, there's a lot of comfort, luxury, cool styling in here as well. I just love the way the cabin is laid out. There's different kind of materials, whether it's on the dash or kind of this turned almost aluminum looking material on the center console here. It all just works together very nicely. Not to mention the Bose sound system in here. It sounds so good. When you've got your CarPlay hooked up, you've got your music going, whether it's podcasts or music, it really does make a pretty big difference on this trim level. So let's talk MSRP. So pricing starts around $51,000, $52,000 and goes up a little over $60,000 depending on if you want the fully loaded model. This one's gonna be right in the middle of all that. So kind of the mid $50,000 price range, which is a little more than the average new vehicle price today. But you're getting so much great equipment here, whether it's the PHEV system or anything else that really does make this a pretty special ride and drive. I mean, getting in the vehicle and having just the comfort, the quiet, the luxury, it really does say a lot. And I think these Mazda CX-90s, if you're looking for a third row SUV, it's definitely one to put on the list to come out, take for a spin, and see what you think. Now, that was just a quick look and drive at the Mazda CX-90 PHEV. Now, if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.